Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar Senior Council has extended greetings to citizens of Trinidad and Tobago as the country marks its 49th year as a republic. In a message to the nation, she reflected on the early years of Trinidad and Tobago's republican status, noting that the then government declared September 24th as Republic Day. But listen to it, which coincidentally was the 20th anniversary of the PNM's first election victory in 1956. I have to tell you, PNM has always believed they own this country, and that's why they even made Republic Day fall on their wonderful day that they basically became into existence, or came into first time they became a governing body in Trinidad and Tobago. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar stated that as a constitutional republic, democratic principles, including the institution of checks and balances on the government and protection of constitutional rights, most importantly, for individuals and minorities, should have been firmly established in the nation's foundation. However, she lamented that this vision was not realized, and she is 100% correct. And that is why we need to reform the Constitution. We need constitutional reform, people, just not what the PNM intended. Because the PNM, their plan was to make it even more of a dictatorship, even more autocratic. Under the UNC, although I don't think we have sufficient seats in Parliament in order to be able to make any significant changes to the Constitution, but under the UNC, we will definitely be able to make life a little more democratic, bring more freedom to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Sleep better. Say goodbye to stiff necks, headaches, and restless nights. Our premium cervical pillow is designed to perfectly support your neck and spine, keeping your body aligned while you sleep. Soft yet firm, it adapts to your shape, giving you ultimate comfort and deep, rejuvenating rest. Whether you sleep on your back, side, or stomach, this pillow reduces pressure points, eases tension, and helps you wake up feeling refreshed and ready to conquer the day. Invest in your sleep. Your neck will thank you. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and feel the difference from the very first night. A vessel believed to be a U.S. Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer, sounds wonderful, was spotted near the northern coast of Trinidad and Venezuela yesterday, according to online open source intelligence analysts. My response? It's time. It's time to liberate the Venezuelan people from the iron fist rule of Maduro. I don't believe it's going to happen, though. I believe that America is waiting to see if Maduro will take God out of his thoughts, attack their vessels, and then, bam! Once they get that opportunity, that's it there, though, people. But I don't think they will take the first step to invade Venezuela. No, they're not going to do that. Not under Trump administration especially. I don't believe that. A High Court judge has permanently stayed the extradition. This is wonderful news. I said I hope it would have happened. I'm not saying it happened because I'm here, people. I'm just a peasant in Sangre Grande. I'm just saying, I did say that in one of my news reports recently, that I hope that it would have taken place. What am I talking about? Okay. A High Court judge has permanently stayed the extradition charges against former FIFA Vice President, former Minister Jack Warner. Speaking to CNC3 News, PNM3 News, but in this case, this is good news. Warner said he believes the case was a political witch hunt. I said that in one of my videos, in my news reports recently. Now he's looking forward to serving the country again in some capacity. I really do hope, somehow or the other, now that he has been vindicated, or all charges have been dropped, I hope that, well, at least the charges, the extradition charges have been dropped, right? I hope that the Kamla Prasad administration gives him some sort of role to play in the rebuilding of our country during these next 5 years.
Given the judgment that was just handed down there?
I feel relieved, but I want you to understand that this took 10 years of my life. And I want to especially thank my legal team, led by Fayad Hussein, Senior Counsel, Sacha Bishbaran Singh, and all the other guys like Richie Das and so on, who stood with me for 10 years. They had to face 15 lawyers from the state, 7 of whom were silk. And after 10 years, I am thrilled. I can't find adequate words. I am relieved by the fact that we were able to win this on this matter, and that the extradition has been permanently stayed. For me, it's a big event. It's a very letter day, and all I could say is I thank God, and I want to also thank my family for standing with me through these difficult times. But that's about all until I say much more later on.
I just want to find, do you think this was a political witch hunt?
They want to save the country. And they've been deprived of service much for 10 years. I want to continue to save the country. And we want to resuscitate football.
Yeah. So do you think this was a political witch hunt against you?
It has to be. I can't see it any other way except being a political witch hunt. And this happened to me at a time when I was serving this country at one of the highest levels in Parliament. And you recall I was at one time Minister of Works and Transport, Minister of National Security. I was serving the country when this happened to me. So I consider it to be a witch hunt, political witch hunt. But more importantly, what happens after this? I want to say to you that I am prepared to serve the country once again. I want to be able to revive football in the country. I want to be able to lend to the sport that made me whom I am some help, because I think that football can do wonders, especially at this point in time, qualifying for the World Cup. So again, I want to make the point that I am grateful. And I want to make even one more point, that I am grateful for the fact that, I want to repeat a second time, my legal team kept the faith. They never wavered at no point in time. And there are really no adequate words I could find to say thanks to Senior Counsel Fayad Hussein, Sacha Bishbaran Singh, and the entire legal team. There are really no adequate words I can find.
Does this mean Jack Warner, Minister of Sport?
No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Jack Warner, nothing. I don't know about that. All right.
Ladies, meet your new go-to bag, our mega duffel handbag. Perfect for your travel, shopping, the gym, and everything in between. Crafted from premium Oxford material, it's not just stylish, it's built to last. The ideal size, flawless design, and unbeatable quality make it the bag you'll reach for every time. Versatile and ready for anything. WhatsApp 762-6589 to order yours today. Some other local news: Prime Minister distances her government from comments made by Philip Edward Alexander. She said he's totally out of line. I do not share his views. He needs to stay in his zone. Now, she usually tells everybody to stay in the zone. Let's hope he complies. But the cabinet, my government, we do not share the views expressed by that minister. Alexander, meanwhile, has deleted the controversial post made on his page, and that was pertaining to India nuking Venezuela on our behalf. My response: Philip was trying his best to defend this administration, which he has been doing even before they won the elections on April 28th. He was defending Kamla Prasad as leader of Bisesa as leader of the UNC and also the UNC in general. He was basically sacrificing his own party for the sake of Trinidad and Tobago. So this is quite disappointing to me. So I said Philip was trying his best to defend this administration's decision to do the right thing by supporting the USA's war against drugs and terrorists. So I don't believe that this public, she could have, corrected him in a nice, respectable way in private. She could have just simply said, no, we do not agree with that, and just leave it as that. Or that is not our stance. That is not what we approve of. And simple as that. She didn't have to go and be so harsh about it. Honestly speaking, I don't like what went on there. So I said, so I don't believe that this public criticism was necessary. From now on, my brother, Philip Edward Alexander, I don't know if you look at my videos, but I'm just saying it. From now on, my brother, stay in your lane. Or you already said that's what you're going to do, but don't give up. Don't leave. Don't leave the partnership, okay? It's not an official partnership, but I am so thankful. And I was saying it after the elections, and I'm going to say it here again. I was totally against disbanding the PEP party, getting rid of it, dismantling the PEP party. I said there was need for a voice of independence. And that's exactly what's taking place right now. The PEP page was able to release a response to what Kamala Persad-Bissessar said. And they would not have been able to do that if the party was no longer in existence. This is a perfect example. Now, a lot of people didn't agree with me when I said it, but I'm very thankful he did not make that final decision to dismantle the political party PEP. He doesn't have to be the leader of it. I don't think he's the leader of it anymore. But we need that voice, that independent voice, because we don't have much of those anymore. PEP is influential here in Trinidad and Tobago. So I thank God once again. He made the wise decision of not going ahead and dismantling the party. I know I'm sounding redundant there, but such is life. So I said, when the Syrian media, jihadists, and Pianamites are spewing utter rubbish about this administration, the administration that I still support, but I don't blindly support. If you're doing something I don't agree with, just like with the SOE, I will say it in my videos. As a humble peasant from Sangre Grande, my opinion doesn't matter, of course, anyhow, but those that are viewing my videos could probably agree with me at times. So I said, when the Syrian media, jihadists, and Pianamites are spewing utter rubbish about this administration in public domain, act as if you didn't hear anything and just continue doing your job, my brother. Just do your job. No leader or party is perfect. We all know that. I've said it over and over again. So put this controversy behind you and focus on serving we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, for the next 5 years. Because that's what you wanted to do, and that is what the opportunity that you were given.
Do you have any thoughts on the back and forth between one of your ministers and the Venezuelan vice president?
He was totally out of line. I do not share his views. I have since told him he needs to stay in his zone. Let's hope that he complies. But the cabinet, my government, we do not share the views expressed by that honorable minister.
No more overheating phones. Cool your phones in seconds. Prevents damage to phones and battery issues. Better gaming experience and streaming. USB powered and fast charging. Lightweight and quiet. Ideal for kids and adults. Works with all smartphones. Makes a great gift. Call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Following allegations made against Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar Senior Counsel says the minister will give his explanation soon, although we already heard an explanation from Anil Roberts yesterday, and I highlighted it in my news report. I didn't put it in the right section. I put it in the section before by error, but it was still there anyhow you take it. The Prime Minister also defended her choice of acting Prime Minister Jolene John, who will take up the role when Mrs. Persad-Bissessar leaves for the UN General Assembly in New York later this week. She said she believes Minister John will do a great job, and I do as well. That is wonderful. Congratulations to Jolene John, Miss Jolene John, for getting the opportunity to act as Prime Minister in the absence of we the People's Prime Minister, Kamala Persad-Bissessar.
I have full confidence in the Minister of Homeland Security. I have seen letters, and I suppose you always see them in due course, where he will give his explanation. But in face of the documents that have come before my eyes, I have full confidence in the Honourable Minister of Homeland Security.
As Chairman of the National Security Council, did any of the issues that have come to the fore refer to him?
None. Never raised. Never raised. They were never raised. The first time I saw it was when I read it somewhere in one of the newspapers.
And your decision for acting Prime Minister, what would have been, what would have weighed in your deliberations in terms of making the choice, given the cabinet that you have?
Well, Ria might understand. She's a sister, and she's a very hard-working, diligent person. I think not just the cabinet, but the nation has great respect for Minister John, and she'll do a great job. So I have no problems about it, no doubts or anything. The one thing I told her is don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Premium touchscreen wireless headsets restocked. 1.9-inch HD full-color touchscreen. ANC and ENC noise reduction for crystal clear calls. 9D panoramic sound. Long battery life and fast charging. Control music, videos, TikTok, YouTube, and much more. Camera feature, voice assistant, timer, stopwatch, and lyrics on screen. Water resistant, sleek design. Available in gold, black, blue, and purple. Gift ready packaging with replacement earbuds included. Never lose your earbuds again with the Find Headphones feature that actually works. Don't miss out. WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order. Limited stock available. Regional news now, and we're starting off with Guyana. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd on Tuesday reaffirmed Guyana's commitment to a two-state solution, underscoring that the rule of law should prevail while urging a ceasefire in Gaza. Now, as much as I love Guyana and I support Guyana, just like I love Trinidad and Tobago, I know these individuals are spiritually blinded. And that is why they don't understand what they're doing is terribly wrong. I'm sure most likely Kamala Pasabi says it's not going to be, will also be calling for a two-state solution, which is totally wrong. Todd made these remarks while delivering an address at the meeting of the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, on the situation in the Middle East, including the Palestinian question. My response, let me get it properly right. Caribbean leaders should take a look at the videos which were recorded by Hamas terrorists and Gazans on Gazan civilians, not just the terrorists themselves, civilians on October 7, 2023. As a matter of fact, they should also take the videos, take a look at the videos that the Syrian jihadists committed against the Druze, D-R-U-Z-E, just recently in Syria. And Israel had to go and rescue them because they were being massacred. A genocide was actually taking place in Syria against the Druze people simply because their faith is different to the Islamic terrorists. I went on to say they should also listen to the statements made by both the heads of the Palestinian Authority and Hamas, who make it very clear that they will wipe Israel off the map as long as they have the capability to do so. I went on to ask this question. Would Guyanese allow Venezuelans to invade their territory and massacre their people and violate their women and children? I use the word violate, but you all know what I'm talking about, right? The R word. From a biblical perspective, Gaza, Judea, and Samaria all belong to Israel. But even if you're not a Christian people, the reality remains that both history and archaeology verify the Jewish people's existence and the ancient kingdoms of Israel and Judah. There's nowhere in history that speaks about a Palestinian kingdom. No way. It has the name of a territory, an area, but never a people or a nation. Also, listen to this as well. Do some ancestry and genetic research, and you will see that even the Ashkenazi Jews who look basically white, unlike the other types of Jews, even the Ashkenazi Jews, along with all the other tribes which live in Israel today, are genuine Jews. Stop allowing tribalism to control your minds. Tired of losing your keys, phone, or coins in that annoying gap between your car seat and the console? We've got the perfect solution. Our universal car seat gap fillers are back in stock, ready to save your stuff and make your ride clutter-free. Available in black, brown, beige, and red, they're designed to fit any car seat and blend perfectly with your interior. Simply WhatsApp 762-6589 to place your order and enjoy delivery straight to your door in just 1 to 3 days. Some more news from Guyana now. The government of Guyana is moving ahead with efforts to strengthen waste management systems nationwide, with a renewed focus on establishing modern landfill sites across the 10 administrative regions. This initiative forms part of the government's wider commitment to building cleaner and healthier communities while addressing challenges posed by rapid housing development, population growth, and urban expansion. By upgrading landfill facilities, the administration aims to safeguard public health, reduce pollution, and provide long-term environmental sound solutions that improve the quality of life for the citizens. And of course, all this is being done under the Irfan Ali administration. He's now in his second term after doing exceptionally well in his first between 2020 to 2025. And watch me carefully, people. Look at my example. I'm not saying to follow it, but just look at it. Take a look at it. I do not agree with their decision to support the Palestinian cause. Just like how I don't support the Palestinian cause here in Trinidad and Tobago either. But yet I can look past that and still see the good that is being done by both the Kamala Prasad administration and the Irfan Ali administration. This is how we should be in life. We do not always have to agree with each other, but we can look at the positive and the negative and then decide whom we should really support. But PNM most likely was going to support the Palestinian cause, but they were also utterly destroying our country. In Guyana, the PNC, I believe, is the political party. They are like the PNM's brother. They would have been, and they did in the past, do the same, utterly destroy Guyana. Matter of fact, they were corrupt just like the PNM from their inception. You won't be disappointed with this one. Look and feel great every day. Painless trimming with no pulling of hair guaranteed. Comfortable to hold and lightweight. Intelligent anti-pinch system. Safety travel lock. Accurate and painless trimming. Durability, 100% quality. Fast charging. To place an order, call or WhatsApp 868-762-6589. Nadira James, aged 19 years, from Baramita Northwest District, was arrested and charged by ranks from the Baramita police station for the offense of murder. The accused appeared on Tuesday at the Port Kaituma Magistrate Court via Zoom before his worship magistrate Rabindranath Singh. The charge was read to her and she was not required to plead to the indictable offense. This is, of course, in Guyana as well. Moving on to Jamaica, a manhunt has been launched by the police to locate at least 10 Haitians who fled their boat after landing undetected late Sunday night at a beach near Kensington in East Portland. But what are they vexed about? And so all they like migrants in America, why they don't like the migrants in Jamaica too? Eh, Jed? Jed, it's not racist for them to arrest these people. But when Trump doing it in America, it's racist, Jed! Caribbean people. And yet they are my people, and I don't hate them because they have those kind of ways of thinking. Tribal ways of thinking. I have relatives who think like that as well. Doesn't make me hate them. It is understood that at least 30 people, including adult males, adult females, and toddlers, were reportedly fleeing persecution. Haiti is in a mess, and yet we want to talk about, oh, we are a peaceful region. Jed. Lies upon lies, spewing and coming from the heart of Satan himself. Who are reportedly fleeing persecution, civil unrest, gang warfare, famine, and hunger in their war-torn homeland of Haiti. Landed about midnight Sunday in a 20-foot sailboat at a rocky beach area at Kensington. Once again, show compassion to the people. And I'm not being sarcastic there. You really need to show compassion to the people. You may not be able to keep them, but you know, While they are there being detained, treat them in a humane way. A Trelawney taxi operator caught on video assaulting a woman with a machete has been charged with unlawful wounding and is facing additional charges for alleged sexual offenses. He violated her, or allegedly violated her. Police identified him as 42-year-old Cleon Buckle of Freeman's Hall. I hope justice is served. When you commit acts of violence like that, 20+ years in prison. Stop giving these monsters short prison terms. All they do is go inside prison, become even more radicalized, and come out with even more anger, with more psychotic ways of thinking to be able to torment the lives of people here in society. International news now. Typhoon Ragasa, one of the strongest storms to hit Asia in years, whipped waves taller than lampposts. Lord, that's a nightmare. I remember dreaming those kind of things as a child. I haven't dreamt it in a while, though. I think I've even dreamt it as an adult, too. I have dreamt tsunamis, and I don't even know. I don't even know if it's because I saw it in movies as a child or what, but I've dreamt it. I just didn't understand what it was. I didn't know about the word tsunami as a child, but I remember seeing these high waves in my dream, and we're running to try to escape it. Anyhow, so whipped waves taller than lampposts onto Hong Kong promenades and turned seas rough on the southern Chinese coast on Wednesday after leaving deadly destruction in Taiwan and Philippines. It is sad. It's sad for the loss of life. But people, once again, all these things that are taking place proves that God's wrath has begun to pour upon the people of this world that have turned against him, against his people of Israel as well. In Taiwan, 17 people died after floods submerged roads and carried away vehicles in one county, and 10 deaths were reported in the northern Philippines. And once again, people, I am not glorifying in this. I'm just speaking the facts. This is God's judgment falling upon a very evil, anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist, anti-Christ world. Marine Le Pen, leader of the right in France, the conservative right in France, against President Macron's recognition, is against President Macron's recognition of the Palestinian state, and she's 100% correct. Macron today recognizes Hamastan, not Palestine. That's what she said, and that's correct. Hamas is in charge of Gaza, and that's not going to change unless they are totally and utterly destroyed, or they surrender and they leave voluntarily. This is a grave mistake for everyone fighting Islamic terror. 100% correct. This is a terror state whose birth was written in the blood of the victims of the most enormous pogrom since World War II. This is somebody that actually speaking with common sense, and not because you just hate. You're just full of hate, full of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism. An embarrassing moment for Macron. In New York. This was really funny. The French president's route was blocked on his way back from the UN headquarters due to roadblocks set up by President Trump's motorcade. Now, of course, they had to have those roadblocks for the president because, I mean, it's a security risk, but it's just how it happened. It ended up happening around the same time, though. I doubt it was planned. Macron got out of his car and called Trump, but this definitely was really funny. Macron got out of his car and called Trump to ask him to clear the way, thinking, well, you know, I'm a head of a state, you know, people say, you know, I am a boss, so the president, you know, will take heed to what I'm saying and comply. So he said, so Macron got out of his car and called Trump to ask him to clear the way, but he had to proceed on foot. You can guess for yourself what Trump's answer to his request was. No. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I saw the video. I think I will post it once I remember when I put in together everything here. It was funny. It was funny because you kind of see you in confidence with him when he calling Trump, man. Hey, good day, man. But afterwards, you see him walking with all the bodyguards afterwards. Nah, that was funny. Israel has reinforced Cyprus's defenses with a new Barak MX system, now fully operational and strengthening the island's protection against any Turkish aggression. Israel is always seeking to assist others. They don't have to yet. That's exactly what they do. Just like how they rescued the Druze, D-R-U-Z-E, in Syria from the radical jihadists that are all under the control of the radical ISIS leader, so-called president, a terrorist in a suit, as Amr Safati says, of Syria. Barak radar systems, including a state-of-the-art radar, advanced radio frequency seeker, and dedicated command console to provide all-weather 360-degree aerial defense against various threats, aerial, ground, and naval threats. So I guess it's probably something similar, to the Iron Dome. The IDF, listen to this part now, the IDF dropped hundreds of thousands of leaflets with evacuation orders as it prepares to enter the center of this Gaza city. Nearly 600,000 people have already evacuated the city, but an estimated number of 200,000 is still there, refusing to leave and serve as a human shield for Hamas. And I've said that countless times, numerous times, umpteen times, that there are individuals in Gaza, because they were indoctrinated since childhood, to be martyrs when they grow up. Even though they are not actual members, official members of the the Hamas terrorist group, they are willing to be used as human shields because they honestly believe that if they die for Hamas, they automatically qualify to go to their heaven, where they will be able to enjoy 72 virgins each as men. Well, as with the women, I don't really know what really going on. All I know, they will definitely qualify to go to heaven, but I don't know what their rewards are when they go there to their precious paradise. But people, these individuals are part of a death cult, so they don't mind dying, and yet they pretend as though they're bawling genocide. If Israel intends to commit genocide, they're not going to be dropping thousands of leaflets telling the individuals, evacuate this area. There are safe areas to go where you will be provided humanitarian aid and medical care. Israel is pleading with these people to evacuate so that they can finish the job in Gaza City. And the vast majority have left. 600,000 have left. But these 200,000 patriots, probably half of those are Hamas actual officials. Anyhow, you take it. And the rest of them, as I'm telling you, they are martyrs. They want to be martyrs. They want to go down dying for their precious Hamas so that they can go to paradise to meet their 72 virgins. It is sad. It is demonic. It is evil. But don't blame and accuse Israel of genocide, because these people, the IDF, have done more to warn and plead with a population to evacuate than most other nations ever would do. Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news report. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe, most of all, in Jesus' name.